I'm always being told that I'm a white cis male and I need to check my privilege. Well, you know what? I figured I'd go to the source, BuzzFeed, and take their quiz and see if I am really privileged. So, without further ado, let's jump right into their stupid fucking quiz. Okay, so to start off, I am white. Well, I mean, I am Caucasian, and that is traditionally associated with the word white, but if I were to hold up something, no, I don't know, white, you could say the color is, slightly different. So I'm gonna give them this one. I'm gonna check it, but technically, technically the word white isn't entirely accurate, but alright, fuck it. So I checked off, I am white. I've never been discriminated against because of the color of my skin. I have a little bit. So like I had to supervise some people setting up for an event, and a couple of the hired people there were black, and I had never met them before. And we had someone on our group who was black, and the people who were, the building staff, they would not listen to a damn thing I said. They listened to the other black person on my crew. So yeah, I would say I was a little bit discriminated against because of my skin color. But, that's just a little example. But there have been many times. So, yes, I have been discriminated against because of the color of my skin. I've never been the only person of my race in a room. Yeah, I have, actually, many, many different times. So, I've never been mocked for my accent. Actually, I have. I dated a woman from South Africa. She had a South African accent, which sounds very similar to British. And she would say, "Oh, you got an American accent." Well, yes, I have been made fun of because of my accent. I've never been told I am attractive for my race. I've been to a strip club and had a black stripper come up to me and say, "You're cute for a white guy." I have had that happen. That's a very true story. I've never been a victim of violence because of my race. Well, I've been harassed and beaten up as a little kid from a black kid in my school, but whether it was motivated by my race or not, I'm not sure. But yeah, you could say that was racially biased. But you know what? I'll give them that because I don't know his exact motives. It could have just been I was weird to him. I don't know. I've never been called a racial slur. I've been called a cracker, a lot of other fucking shit like that. So, yes, I've most certainly been called racial slurs. I've never been told I sound white. Yeah, I have. When I talk to certain people, they say, "You sound like a typical white dude." Okay, that's my voice. I don't know. A stranger has never asked to touch my hair or asked if it's real. Well, I have had girls ask to play with my hair randomly because I have longer hair typically, but yeah, so yes. I am heterosexual. Yes, I identify as being heterosexual and that I am attracted to women and I am a man. So, yes. I have never lied about my sexuality. Well, I've been with a girlfriend and she says, "Oh, do you think she's pretty?" I'm like, "No." Even though she was fucking hot, but that's just because I wanted to have sex that night. Really, who the fuck would do something different than that? So, yes, I lied about my sexuality there. I never had to come out. Well, as an atheist, yes, I kind of have to come out to a lot of people when I tell them, yeah, I kind of don't believe that someone walked on water and rose from the dead and flew up into heaven and all the other shit, but that's a whole other topic. I never doubted my parents' acceptance of my sexuality. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I'm sure there's some fetishes that they don't want to know about, but I think they'd be fairly accepting. So yes, I will check that off. I have never been called a fag. Yes, I have been called a fag many times. I don't think they realize that guys call each other fags. It's not... And the same thing goes for the next one, dyke. And even the one after that, I've never been called a fairy or any other derogatory slur for homosexuals. Can't they really just combine those three into the same one? It's the same fucking shit. But whatever. So, yes, I have been called all of those, and yes, that's true. I've never tried to hide my sexuality. Well, when I've been attracted to women that really shouldn't be, I've had to kind of hide that I'm sexually attracted to certain people. So yes, I have. I'm always comfortable with public displays of affection with my partner in public. Yeah, you see, I'm not insecure like a lot of people. I don't give a fuck what other people think. So yes, I am comfortable. That has nothing to do with being privileged. I guess you could say it's a privilege to not care, but it's nothing that isn't entirely mental on myself, so whatever. I've never pretended to be just friends with my significant other. No, because I'm not a pussy. I don't care what people think, so I'll always say what I feel and what I think, so, whatever. I've never been ostracized by my religion for my sexual orientation. Well, having no religion, being atheist and that without religion, that's kind of a question that can't really be applied to me because, when you don't have one, it's like saying, oh, you ever had your penis get stuck in the door? Well, if you're a woman, you don't have a fucking penis, so it's like, how the fuck can I answer that? I mean, yes, you could say, yes, that's never happened to me, but the fact is the question does not apply to me because I cannot answer it correctly because, yeah, you get what I'm saying. I've never been told I would burn in hell for my sexual orientation. Well, I've been told I will be burning in hell by lots of Christians many times for various different things, but that's more so my atheist beliefs. So, well, I mean, for sexual orientation, I guess they kind of associate, atheists having no morals and are gay and queer and do, they have no morals. They just do whatever the fuck they want. So maybe they kind of see us as being queer or weird. I don't know. What the fuck? I don't know. I don't know the exact motives behind these fucking weird fuckers. So whatever. I'll give them it. I've never been told that my sexuality is just a phase. I can't really think of that. So, okay. So yes, I'll check them. I've never been violently threatened because of my sexuality. Well, this one time I was hitting on a chick that had a boyfriend, and I was threatened very violently, so yeah, I have. I am a man. Well, if you asked my girlfriend, well, I don't know, she would say I'm not really a man, but whatever, fuck her. No, I'm kidding. Yes, I am a man, and yes, my girlfriend does believe I am a man. I feel comfortable in the gender I was born as. Well, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily comfortable. I do kind of wish that if I had a choice between being a man or a woman, and when I was born, I would like to have been a woman, because I think women have it a lot easier than men, but seeing I am a man, I am not, transitioning. I don't want to be a woman. I'm just saying I think if I was born a woman, it would have been a lot easier for me. So I do feel comfortable in it, and that's who I am. So yes, and I still identify as the gender I was born. So yes, I've never tried to change my gender. I am who I am, and yeah, I don't need surgery to make myself feel like I am who I am. So I have never been denied an opportunity because of my gender. Yeah, men do get denied opportunities because of their gender all the time. Whether it's women only, like if you go out to a restaurant and they have ladies' night, women get special discounts that men don't have. They get all these little extra perks that guys don't have. So, yes, there are many different examples, but off the top of my head, that's just one thing that came to my mind. I make more money than my professional counterparts of a different gender. Well, the wage gap has been debunked many, many times, so no, I'm not going to check that. I've never felt unsafe because of my gender. Well, I feel like if I'm in a room with a lot of feminists that I'm not necessarily unsafe physically, but I will be berated and yelled at and nagged and nagged and nagged just because I'm a man if I say something that does not fit in with their narrative that they want everyone to believe. I have never been catcalled. Yes, I have been catcalled many times, and I've told that story in another one of my videos. When I was taking a taxi in Thailand, I got out of the cab because the taxi did not know where I was going, but he took me halfway there and basically said, oh, I'm not going that far, and kicked me out of the cab because he didn't know where it was, even though I told him where it was initially. And then as I'm walking down the streets of fucking Thailand at 3 in the morning, I'm passing by all these massage parlors and all these women, well, prostitutes. Well, they're masseuses there, but yes, they were all catcalling me. Hey, baby, come in and I give you a great massage. And yes, I have had that happen. So, I've never been sexually harassed or assaulted. Well, personally, I don't care if a woman wants to pinch my butt, or, well, at least when I was single. I wouldn't care if, random woman did that. But, yes, in high school I have had girls pinch my butt while I was just walking in the hallway. So, yes. I've never been raped. Well, I have been semi-raped. And if you really, if you want to go into more detail, just let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll do it again. So I'll tell it a little longer then. So I don't speak Portuguese, and I was in Rio. My brother's friend asked me a question. I had no idea what he was saying. He was speaking Portuguese. I look at my brother, and he gives me the thumbs up, and I'm like, okay. He said, just say yes. I'm like, all right. Well, it turns out some woman there wanted to have sex with me, and next thing I know, I'm being brought into a... Yes, so I consented, but I did not mean to, so that's the whole gist of the story, but I can go into more details later, but that was one fucking crazy-ass night. I work in a salary job. No, I do not. I freelance doing projects for myself and projects for other people who pay me for work that I do, so no, I'm not a salaried person. I have been, but I'm not currently. My family and I have never lived below the poverty line. Well, I wouldn't say that we were ever below the poverty line. However, when I was about 2-3 years old, my dad went off to start his own business, and, money was tight for a little bit. But as I got older, he was making more and more money, so it's hard to tell if they were below the poverty line, but I don't know exactly. But so I'll just say, I'll check that and say I've never been below the poverty line. I don't have any student loans. Yes, that's correct, because my dad did pay for all my tuition, so I did not have any student loans, which I know is very rare, and that is a privilege, and I'm grateful for that. I've never gone to bed hungry. Well, there have been lots of nights where I got the munchies and I could not find any food. But that's yes, I have. I've never been homeless. No, I've never been homeless. My parents pay some of my bills. Well, I do share their Netflix account still, but, does that really count? I'll check that for them, too. My parents pay all of my bills. No, that's not true. I don't rely on public transportation. Well, I live in New York City, and I leave my car at my parents' house because it's, like $800 a month to park in the city, so fuck that. So, I do rely on it for the most part, yes. I buy new clothes at least once a month. My guy, I'm not a chick, so no, I don't buy clothes every month. I've never done taxes myself. Yes, that's true, because my dad's an attorney, and he does taxes for all of his clients and stuff like that, and they do it for me because it's just like a fucking assembly line for them, and so. I've never felt poor. Well, I felt, oh, poor me, I have this and that. No, I'm just kidding. I would say in some ways I felt poor, and that I feel other people had more things that they got things that they wanted, and I got more things that I needed. My parents didn't really give me frivolous things. It's not like I can just be like, I want this, this, and this, and they just buy me it. It was, well, we'll take you to a nice restaurant, we'll take you here, we'll take you there, but I didn't really get, like, as many of the nice things that I kind of would have liked to growing up, but I've never felt poor, so, yeah, I'll check that. I've never had to worry about making rent. Well, yeah, I'd say that, too. Well, whatever, that's personal and whatever. I've never worked as a waiter, barista, bartender, or salesperson. Have I ever worked as a salesperson? Oh, by the way, that reminds me, I also have the Booze and Bullshit t-shirt, which has the text on it, melt the snowflakes, because all these social justice warriors are referred to as precious little snowflakes, and we have to hold their views up to the light and melt them so they can see just how full of shit they are, so they can see that they are just 98% water, just like everyone else. So, you can get those by clicking on the annotation cards shit. It's whatever. I'm going to put it on the screen here. So somewhere I don't know where it's going to be, but it will be on the screen and you'll see it popping up. So yes, I've worked as a salesperson selling t-shirts to people like you. I have had an unpaid internship. Yeah, I mean, I had an internship where basically it's just gas money, but it wasn't really paid, so yes, I would say that. I have had multiple unpaid internships. Yes, I did that a couple times. I went to summer camp. Not by choice. I was forced to go to fucking summer camp when I was a little kid. I did not want to go to fucking summer camp, and you could not make me go to fucking summer camp again because, ugh, fucking hate scheduled fun. Fuck that. If I want to go in the pool, I want to go in the pool. I don't want to have to wait until it's the right exact time to go in the fucking pool. Fuck that. I went to private school. No, I did not. I graduated high school. Yes, I did. I graduated high school. I went to an elite college. No, I wouldn't say it was an elite college. It was a commuter school. It was, standard. I don't know. It wasn't like a shitty school. It wasn't an Ivy League school. So, no, I didn't go to an elite college. I graduated college. Yes, I did graduate college. My parents paid at least some of my tuition. You already had the fucking student loans bullshit. Yes, they paid my tuition. I had a car in high school. My parents had a car. I didn't because I didn't get my license until I was in college because I was on the younger side and I didn't do driver's ed until whatever later. And then by the time I got a scheduled date, it wasn't until after I had already graduated. So I graduated when I was 17. So fucking shut the fuck up. You have to fuck you guys. So I've never had a roommate. Well, I have a roommate right now and my girlfriend who I live with, so yes, I have a roommate right now. I've always had cable. No, actually, I did not have cable. Well, we had over the air until 1997 growing up. Yeah. And we never had cable. We always had DirecTV, which is satellite. So in my parents' house, I never had cable. We had satellite, but only after 1997. And I was born in 88, so yes, I didn't always have it. I have traveled internationally. Yes, I've been all over the world. And I travel internationally at least once a year. I wouldn't say at least, but, I mean, it's every once in a while. I mean, it's depends on some years, yeah, sometimes it's for a couple of years. I'll go every year, but then, whatever, I'll check that. I studied abroad. I've studied many broads, but why do you ask? Okay, so no, I've never studied overseas. I've never skipped a meal to save money. I mean, I haven't skipped a meal, but I mean, I've definitely been I'm kind of get a cheaper dinner tonight than an expensive one, so. I don't know, whatever, I'll check that one. I don't know what Sally Mae is. The fuck is Sally Mae? I spent spring breaks abroad. No, I haven't. Well, no, I never spent it abroad. I tried planning a trip to Cancun in college, and, well, planning trips to some people are really quite a pain. He had more interest spending money on his fucking car than, yeah. Spend spring breaks abroad. No, I haven't. I have frequent flyer miles. Actually, my girlfriend is fucking, yeah, she keeps telling me, register for your frequent flyer miles. Register. I just never fucking did it. It's free. So I don't even know why this is a fucking privilege thing. Anyone can get fucking frequent flyer miles. You just gotta register a webpage. I don't know. My parents are heterosexual. Well, I've never watched them have sex, so I can assume that they're straight, seeing, me and my brothers are alive. So, yes, I would say that they are heterosexual. My parents are both alive. Well, last I checked, they are, and so, I mean, when I last talked to them, yes, they were alive. My parents are still married. Well, like I said, unless they haven't told me about something, then yes, I would say they're still married. So as far as I'm concerned, they are. I do not have any physical disabilities. Well, I kind of have a little bit of weight on me, so yeah, it's a physical disability to some people. I don't have social disabilities. Well, I've been considered to be very antisocial with groups and crowds, so people say that's a social disability. I do not have any learning disabilities. Well, as a kid, they saw me as being dyslexic, but I don't see any signs of that. But I was just quiet, and I didn't really fit in with what the standard teaching procedures were. So basically what they would do is if anyone doesn't fit into their molds of what they feel you should be, they would just put you in like the other class. I have never had an eating disorder. Well, I'd say it's an eating disorder if you eat too fucking much, and I've got a good 40 pounds over what I should. So I'll say yes, I have a bit of an eating disorder and I eat too much. I've never been depressed. I've been very depressed many times, which I'm not going to get into. I've never considered suicide. I wouldn't say I considered it. No, I've never considered suicide. I never attempted suicide. No. Oh, I mean, if you saw that last video I did, that was a joke, so, I never attempted it. I've never taken medication for my mental health. No, I can't say that I have. I can afford medication when I need it. Well, I mean, when you see that one pill that, like, the person had cancer, they raised it to, like, $750 a pill, I probably couldn't afford it if I had that, so, yeah. So, depends on the medicine, so I'm just going to leave that blank because it really depends on what medicine you need. I've never been told I'm overweight or too skinny. I've been called fat many fucking times, so yeah, they say I'm fat. I've never been shamed for my body type. Yes, yes, I've been shamed for being heavier than I should be, many times. I consider myself to be physically attractive. Well, that's a very personal question, but I would say I'm very, very attractive. Don't you? Okay. I can afford a therapist. Well, I mean, I suppose I could, but no. I mean, I went to one for a little bit, and quite frankly, it was taking up my entire, it was way too much than I wanted to spend, so I wouldn't say I can afford it comfortably. I've used prescription drugs recreationally. I'm not answering that. Well, I'm just checking it, not telling why. I never had an addiction. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm addicted to certain things, but no, I've never been addicted, and I've always been able to have a good grasp on how much I should and shouldn't do. So, I've never been shamed for my religious beliefs. Yeah, I have. I'm an atheist, and if you've seen a lot of Pew studies, they say that atheists are the least trusted minority in the United States. So, fuck you religious people who don't like me because of my religious beliefs and just not believing what you believe. I've never been violently threatened for my religious beliefs. I've heard people say that atheists should be beaten to death and people who are atheists should be just killed. So even though it wasn't directed directly at me, and I still hear these fucking crazy ass fuckers talking about this shit on TV, on the internet, all over the place. So yeah, I still feel kind of threatened by their behavior. I've never been violently attacked for my religious beliefs. I mean, it has been a concern of mine, but I've never been actually attacked, like physically punched in the face for not believing, but there are certainly many people who have. There's a place of worship for my religion in my town. Well, not having a religion, yeah, that's kind of not a question I can answer. I've never lied about my ethnicity as a self-defense. Well, once again, I'm secure in who I am, so no. I've never lied about my religion as a self-defense. Well, I mean, I've had some like crazy religious people come up to me and be like, "Do you accept God in your heart?" Sure. Go away. I don't want to fucking talk to you. You could say it's self-defense because yeah. All my jobs have been accommodating of my religious practices. They can accommodate it because it's a non-religious belief, but then again, I can still be discriminated against for not believing, so whatever. It's a complicated thing, but I wouldn't say that there have been accommodations made for me because of my religious beliefs. And I think that's what the question is asking. I'm not nervous in airport security lines. I'm really fucking nervous because when I've been a little kid, I was quiet, and people thought I was going to shoot up the school because it was around Columbine, all that shit. And I never had any intention to do any of that stuff. I've never remotely close to doing something like that, but people just looked at me that way because I was quiet and I wasn't really social with a lot of people, so they were like, "Oh, he's just going to shoot up the school one day." I wasn't. And I felt high school drama was just ridiculous to partake in, so I just kind of kept to myself. So, yes, I am nervous in airport security lines because there's still that idea in my head that I've always been judged my entire life by people thinking I'm going to be violent. So I give everyone the benefit of the doubt, but I'm just saying that it's still kind of a thought of I don't want them to think I'm crazy, because that's the way a lot of people looked at me when I was a little kid. I've never heard this statement. You've been randomly selected for secondary passport control. I've heard the statement, but it wasn't said to me, so am I splitting hairs? All right, whatever. I'll say that. I've never been called a terrorist. Well, they said I was going to shoot up the school, so I'd say they're calling me a fucking terrorist many, 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 many times. So, no. Nobody's ever tried to save me for my religious beliefs. Yeah, they have, because I'm an atheist. Are you fucking kidding me? I've never been cyberbullied for any of my identities. Well, how do you define cyberbullied and my identities? Well, I mean, I just think that's a ridiculous question. Cyberbullied. Cyberbullying is a ridiculous concept because you can just turn off the fucking computer. And yeah, I've had troll comments in my videos, so you can say that's cyberbullied, and my identity is that I am against religion, feminism, and all these other crazy ideals out there. So, yeah, I could say that. I've never been self-conscious about any of my identities. Well, I mean, I guess you could say that I was a little self-conscious about being called a terrorist and wanting to shoot up the school. So I'm a little self-conscious in that I don't want people to think I'm going to shoot up places because I don't want to deal with their fucking bullshit and thinking that shit, It's not that I care what they think, I just don't want them to fucking arrest me and bother me and just, yeah. I have never questioned any of my identities. Well, I have a secret identity that I'm not telling you about. Ooh, yeah. I'm just fucking with you. I don't know. Fuck this. I feel privileged because of the identities I was born with. Well, identities, you're not born with them. Once you become cognitive, you identify how you want to. I mean, I guess you could say that your gender is an identity, but you know what? We're just debating semantics of this shit now. Whatever, I'm not doing that. So let me check my privilege and let's see if I'm privileged or not. You're not privileged at all. You grew up with an intersexual, complicated identity, and life never let you forget it. You've had your fair share of struggles, and you've worked hard to overcome them. We do not live in an ideal world, and you had to learn that the hard way. It is not your responsibility to educate those with more advantages than you, but you decide you want to. Go ahead and send them this quiz. Hopefully, it will help. So, if anyone ever says I'm privileged again, I'm going to show them this fucking quiz, and I'm going to say, hey, fuck you, I'm not privileged because I've gone through shit too. Anyways, guys, this is the Booze and Bullshit Show. Just remember, you can check out my other videos. I did a video about Anita Sarkeesian and her latest tropes versus women in video games. I also did a video about Jacqueline Glenn and her plagiarism, and she's doing now all these very social justice warrior-esque videos. And remember, you can always buy my t-shirt. It's Melt the Snowflakes, because all these special little snowflakes feel they're so damn special. And we have to hold up their ideals. We have to hold up what they say to the light so that we can melt it into just water, because that's all they really are. Anyways, guys, that's my video. Take care and check out some of my other ones.